let's get going. Your first 30 days as a beauty advisor with Motives Beauty Brands. So first and foremost, if you are new to partnering, I want to congratulate you on starting your unfranchised business with Motives. We are excited to have you as part of the team. Truly, we are a brand that prides itself on offering not only the best products in the marketplace, but an incredible opportunity to create the lifestyle of your dreams. Ultimately, success with our business is a series of small steps taken consistently. The little things add up to the big things, and that is what creates duplication when done effectively. It is our hope that with this guide, you'll know what series of small steps you need to take to achieve maximum impact with your Motives business. So embrace the journey and take pride in the fact that you are in control of your future and you can't help but succeed when you have the right system, most effective tools, and best products in the industry. You know, many times when we have a new business owner in the beauty division, people ask, well, what do I do now? How do I get started? And the answer is that, you know, I love that we're all on a level playing field when we partner with this company. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter what product or service, or as we call them, what division you'd like to focus on within our company. We all start the same way and we all learn the same way, and we all want to duplicate the same activities in order to achieve success as it pertains to our goals. So having said all of that, we are all going to be following the Getting Started guide. One of these will be physically mailed to you with your application when you partner with the company. And certainly you can also download this file from your back office from unfranchise.com, and you can print it out or just reference it digitally. But the whole goal with this is that you're committing to following the unfranchised proven business plan for a minimum of 12 months. And in doing that, we're committing 8 to 15 hours per week to completing the tasks and activities that are outlined. And why we say that you want to commit your time to those particular activities is because that's what's going to create results for you in regards to establishing a customer base, accumulating business volume towards commissions, expanding distribution, all of those wonderful things that help us achieve our personal and professional goals. So definitely would be remiss if we didn't chat about that tonight. Want to make sure that you're all familiar with this. And again, maybe you've been partnered for a little while and you're using this as an opportunity to start fresh. I love that. I do that myself pretty often. And listen, it's a very forgiving business, and the past doesn't equal the future, right? And so many of us get frustrated with, you know, maybe progress we haven't made that we thought we would make, or certainly it's been a tumultuous few years and life can just get crazy, right? So it's okay to be frustrated and not happy with where you're at. But if that's how you're feeling, then the best thing you can do is be on a session like tonight and really just take a deep breath. And again, give yourself that grace to just start over. And even if you have an organization, if you have a team, if you have people who've partnered with you, reach out to them and ask them if they want to start fresh. You know, it's great to humble ourselves as leaders, or growing leaders, budding leaders. I mean, being a leader is something that we're always on the grow with, right? And I think when we can humble ourselves enough to even reach out to people in our organization or people that have partnered with us over the years, when we're all maybe feeling a little frustrated about different things, and saying, hey, maybe you weren't sure what you were doing before, or maybe you weren't as coachable as you are now, or maybe you never were introduced to these tools and these systems. What a great opportunity to reach out to those people and ask if they'd like to start over. And again, just being mindful that the past doesn't equal the future. So this is a great tool. It does, you know, outline everything that we need to do. I think it's a great idea to fill it out, like print it out and actually fill out the dates for your next GMTSS events, sign it, read the commitment, make the commitment to yourself and to your partners. Don't overlook these simple steps. Just because they're simple doesn't mean that they're ineffective, right? Sometimes the simplest ones are the most effective ones. Another very basic thing that sometimes we forget to do, or certainly should redo and just keep on top of the mind, say every 6 months or certainly at least once a year, is fill out a home shopping list. If you're not familiar with this, it's a tool that originally was a physical, tangible tool. It is a paper that you can have printed out, and it has a carbon copy. And so the top portion of the home shopping list is really just surveying you on categories of products that you're purchasing for yourself, your family, your household. So it'll go through facial care, car care, your kitchen, your bathroom, personal care, things like that. And it's going to ask you questions like, do you purchase, a body wash? Do you wash your face? Do you shampoo your hair? Do you wash your dishes? Some of our products aren't super exciting, but what is exciting about them is that they all fuel the same business plan. So if you've partnered because you love our beauty brands, that's amazing. But guess what? As a perk or a benefit of being partnered with our beauty brands, you have access to thousands of other exclusive products that are best in class and at an affordable price. And again, I think the most exciting part is that when you can convert your spending into earning, and maybe you identify your favorite beauty products that you wanted access to, and that's why you partnered. But then because you're a smart business person, you're also going to purchase all of the products that you're buying from a different vendor or location. Maybe you're buying them online, maybe you're going to the store on a regular basis and purchasing them. Transfer those buying habits and convert your spending into earnings. So instead of purchasing elsewhere, get them from yourselves, because all products, all of our exclusive products have a wholesale cost, and then there's business volume associated with that wholesale cost. And all the products that we purchase for ourselves, or all the products that we purchase and sell to a customer, they all generate BV, and that BV accumulates until you hit the proper thresholds as outlined in our compensation plan. So of course, the more products that you're using in your household, the faster that you'll get paid. And the more that you can duplicate that within an organization, the more frequently you will hit those thresholds. So going back to the marketing plan, there's no end of month. That volume will carry over week to week and month after month up until 1 year for you to have the opportunity to get paid on that volume. We do have also a digital version for that as well. And I think I forgot to mention thus far that when you complete the top list of checking off the product categories that you're purchasing, the second paper, the carbon copy underneath, will actually tell you what exclusive brand from our company, what product would be a viable replacement that you could purchase. I also think that this is a great tool to hand out to your closest friends and family when you're either new to building, like maybe you're starting fresh, like we talked about, or maybe you're a brand new business partner and you're looking to establish a customer base. I know for me, when I partnered, I was in college, and the next family gathering that we had, I think I remember taking them at Thanksgiving, if my memory serves me correctly, and I passed them out to my relatives, and I asked everybody to fill one out, and I said, hey, listen, you're already purchasing these 20 or 30 or 50 items from the store. Can I ask, in order to support me, would you just pick a few that you'd be willing to try from me? It's probably gonna save you money. We definitely know it's gonna be a better product. More than likely, it's gonna save you money, and you're really helping me out. And that's how I started a customer base. So sometimes you just have to be direct, and you have to ask people for the support. I did partner because of our beauty brands, but that's how I built a strong customer base who, people that wanted to support me. Maybe they all didn't want to purchase beauty products, but they were all willing to try a product from me that they were purchasing from the store already, because it didn't cost them any extra money and it was helping me. So hopefully that makes sense. So make sure that you're mastering those two things, the getting started guide and the home shopping list. A tool that is unique for our beauty brands is actually something we call a welcome guide. You can download this from your back office from enfranchise.com. We did do a walkthrough of this a few weeks ago during one of our other webinar series. Well, for this webinar series, but a different week, of course, when we reviewed the GMTSS, the Global Meeting Training Seminar System. So when we go through this welcome guide, that is going to be part of what we learned. So it may sound familiar if you were with me during that session. But just some highlights of what this welcome guide will offer as far as content and information. It's going to help you really kind of dig into why you're partnered, what can this business do for you? Why are you taking a chance on yourself? What are you hoping to get out of this? What are some of your goals? Really important to take some time and get really clear on that. Write it down, reread it to yourself. And that way, that'll also help develop a little bit of a 2-minute commercial, which we'll talk about. But also it's going to help you keep yourself solid in your resolve so that when people give you a hard time or things get a little bit difficult in your journey, you can always center yourself on why you're building the business. And that's so important because unfortunately, many people in our lives love, or not even in our lives, many people that observe our lives love to give strong opinions on the things that we do and how we want to live our life. And sometimes it can be hard to block that out. And again, it just really helps to be very clear on what we want, why we're doing this. And then certainly when you go through these result producing activities as outlined, that will be the what to do in order to achieve your goals. So it'll walk you through the why. It does have a getting started checklist as far as just simple things that you want to be mindful of doing to set yourself up for success. Also, there is a section on how to create a names list and then qualify those prospects with bio sheets in there. You'll also have the opportunity, to review our training curriculum. So within our beauty brands, we do have a curriculum for skincare, so that if that's where you want to spend your time and you want to do one-on-one consults and events, just focusing on teaching people about how to properly care for their skin and love the skin they're in, you can just have a lot of success specializing in that space. We have 1 training and 2 workshops for that curriculum. Then for our custom blend cosmetics, we have 1 training and 1 workshop there. Certainly lots of money to be made and a lot of exclusivity and quality in that product line. And then, of course, Motives Cosmetics as its own division. We have a marketing workshop on that. We have a makeup application workshop on that. And then we have our core Motives one-to-one training. So 3 separate checklists for each of those 3 curriculums. And you can get certified in just 1 or even all 3 if you'd like. And then as the guide wraps up, you'll see that it does offer retailing tips, whether you're looking to focus on conducting individual consultations with people just in a one-on-one setting, or whether you'd like to host an event and leverage your time and create a lot of excitement. Something else that you definitely want to be mindful to do in your first 30 days is personalize your Motive site. So how you would do that is go to unfranchise.com. Then you would click on the unfranchise owner profile section, the account settings. And oh my goodness, my mouse is super touchy tonight. And I did have that, there's an image underneath. I'm not sure why it's not letting me click through it, but you do want to update your information on the back office and you can customize your photo. I think that's maybe one of the best things that you can do. And that way, when you update it on your back office, when you go to your Motives Cosmetics site, your profile on there will be what you updated it to be on your back office. So that way, when your customers are on your Motives website, they'll be able to see that as well. All right, so next thing we want to be mindful of is developing a 2-minute commercial. So that kind of is a little bit of an extension of understanding what your why is. So, when one of the things that we'll talk about as we wrap up is hosting like a product event to get a customer base and then hosting a business launch event. And in either scenario, when you're inviting people, one common question that they may ask you is like, well, what is this and why are you doing it? So again, really establishing why you're building the business or why you've partnered is important. And so when they do that, you want that response to their question to really stimulate them to think about their current lifestyle and situation. Your 2-minute commercial should be a testimonial explaining the real reason you're developing a business. So as an example, you may say, I was sick and tired of living month to month on a salary that never seemed to grow. I started this business to create a supplemental income. You could say, I started my unfranchised business to establish my children's college fund. Listen, you can even just be really lighthearted and joke and just be like, listen, don't we all need some extra cash right now? I don't know about you, but I thought I was doing okay, but it seems like the cost of everything has increased so much over the last few years. And for me personally, like I never wanted to be the mom that had to say no to my kids. Like I want to be able to give them the opportunities. I want to make memories and live life. I want experiences. I want to set my kids up for success with a lifestyle. I don't want to be so consumed obsessing about money that I don't have to pay all the bills that I do have, that's all that consumes my life. Like I've been there. I'm sure many of us have been there. Maybe we're still there for some of you. That's not fun, right? So doing something different is a lot less painful than living in that reality, right? So that's the whole goal of establishing your why. And so sometimes your 2-minute commercial can be something, like I said, kind of simple and casual, like, hey, I don't know about you, but I think everybody would be crazy not to find a way to make some extra income. In today's economic climate, the struggle is real, right? I mean, people will just laugh and say, hey, I just figured this is sort of an anyway business. I love these types of products. I was purchasing them anyway. Why not get them from myself? Be able to share them with some friends and earn some extra income. Who knows what it could be for me? Right now, I just want some extra spending money with your significant other, with someone important in your life, maybe with a mentor or a close friend. Just, that's one of my favorite things in life to do is just have a soulful, stimulating conversation about where do you want to see yourself? What is your future about? And then talking about what this could do, like what would this extra income do for you? And then think short, medium, and long term as far as your goals go, and know that your 2-minute commercial may evolve. But the whole, reason or objective of it is to generate interest and start a dialogue about the business or product. So sometimes just asking for the sale, like, hey, we all need extra money. I'm buying these products anyway. I wanted to earn some extra money and being able to service some customers that love the products that I do. Would you help me out and look at some products from me that you're already purchasing from the store anyway and convert that purchase? It would support me. Or could you help me out and invite some friends over and host a skincare workshop, and I'll teach everybody how to put their face to bed, do their nighttime skin routine. Or, I could go on and on, but don't be afraid to plant a seed and even just ask for the sale sometimes. But we want this kind of answer to the 2-minute commercial to lead to further conversations, and even an appointment, or like I said, an invitation where the prospect or your friend who's a potential prospect could evaluate the business. And then in turn, they're going to kind of establish their own why, right? So our goal is that we want to create a base. We hear this term base 10, 7 strong. So our goal as a business owner is that we want a base of 10 customers purchasing on a repeat basis. The best way that you can ensure that a preferred customer is registered and linked to you, meaning that even if they go on Google and they type in Motives Cosmetics and they try to purchase a product, if they are a registered customer to you through your back office, even if they just go to the corporate site and try to purchase, when they log into their Motives website with their email, that customer is going to then be linked. The email is going to link them to your personal website, and you're going to get credit for that sale. We do have unique domain names for our website, and theoretically sharing those should be efficient and people can register themselves. But, there's a lot of things that can get a little wonky when it comes to technology. And so if you want to control that process, just take the time to create them as a customer on your back office. So how you do that is go to unfranchise.com, click on business, my customers, create new customer, fill out as much of their info as possible. You can even hit show advanced details, and there's additional information under there that doesn't just show up on the form by default. And then when you're done entering all the information you have, you want to check the box at the bottom that says send welcome email to the customer to ensure that they're sent that welcome email with their login information, and then click create this customer button. You will receive confirmation along with their customer ID, and you can update the customer information at any time on unfranchise.com. Very simple, very organized, very streamlined. Something that definitely, you know, we should be doing with our new business partners as well, is like sitting down with them and helping them do this, not doing it for them, but sitting with them and helping them navigate how to do that. Best way to help other people do it is for us to do it ourselves first, right? Now, going back to how do we get that base of 10 customers? Well, we did talk about the home shopping list. You could use that. Another way that you could establish that base of 10 customers would be, let's start talking about the products, right? Like newsflash, we do sell products. Every business that generates, you know, profits is selling something, whether it be a product or a service or anything in between. So one thing that's a really simple way to focus right now and keep it really simple and duplicatable is to download your unfranchised marketing app, log in with your credentials that you would log in on unfranchise.com. And there is a section on Core 3 Beauty, and Core 3 Beauty is simply a trio of skincare products that we put together as a company that we know will benefit every individual. It doesn't matter their gender, their age, their ethnicity, their skin type, their skin tone, their skin conditions, anything like that. All these products work phenomenally on everybody. And there's little how-to videos on how to use the product. There's information on what the product is, what the active ingredients are. So just, again, leverage the tools that you have, share information out through the marketing app, because when you do that, the Pulse section of your marketing app will actually tell you if a customer has opened the email or opened the text message. If they've watched the video, it will note that. So it sort of tracks their progress for you, and it does help you with your follow-up efforts. So you could very simply have people focused on that, or you could host an event and you could get your friends together. I think that this is essential for everybody. I think everybody in the first 30 days of business has to schedule. I would recommend a series of events. And I would recommend scheduling 2 to 4. You don't have to have one of each. You could have like 2 skincare events and 2 custom blend events, or you could have 3 or 4 skincare events scheduled. But I just recommend having multiple dates so that when you do take the time to personally reach out to somebody, not spam them on social media or text message, but have a personal conversation in some way. I'm a big fan of a voice note on a text message or a voice note on Facebook if I don't have their cell phone number. It's a little more personal, and I will put the information out there in a voice note, and then I'll follow up with, you know, a flyer with the information or a link if I'm doing a registration on some type of event platform or something like that. But circling back to multiple dates at one time, the benefit of that is that if you only schedule one event and you take all this energy into reaching out to everybody and inviting them, and that one single date doesn't work for that person, then you've got to backtrack and do it all over again to invite them to something else in the future. Whereas if you just schedule a few events from day one, when you reach out to them, you can ask them for their support and say, you know, I have event schedules on these dates. Here are the themes or the you know, products that we're going to be featuring. I would truly appreciate if you could pick one of those dates that may work for you. I'm only inviting a handful of people to each one. I want it to be a very educational and personalized experience. I'm not expecting a ton of people to show up, and make sure people know, like, that they feel like a VIP, that you thought of them, and you're keeping the group small. and that they're going to learn something. So I always tell them it's going to be educational and personalized, just so that they know they're not showing up where there's a house full of 20 or 30 people. And so last minute, if they don't feel like coming, no one will miss them, right? And then they bail. So I let them know why I thought of them. So I stroke their ego a little bit. I was thinking of you because this, I'm hosting these events on this day. It would mean a lot to me if you could commit to one. I am keeping the group size small. So if anything should change in your RSVP, please let me know as far in advance as you can so I can fill that spot. And just thank them in advance for their support, right? And then if they're not able to make it, or they say they'll come and they don't, which happens unfortunately sometimes, you can always just ask them like, hey, is it okay if I set you up with a complimentary customer profile on my website and send you my website? And, I'll send you a list of the products that we've reviewed that night. Let me know if you have any questions. You can just purchase them from the link if you're not able to make it in person, right? So it's really just a lot about follow-up and a lot about asking for the sale and asking for support. So those retail events are super key to get that customer base, because, by the way, that's how you're going to be profitable immediately, is through selling product, right? The other way that we want to be profitable is by expanding distribution and building our business. So the other thing that you definitely want to schedule in your first 30 days is a business launch event. What is that? Well, it's basically an event where you're going to go through the business plan. I call it our marketing plan. And you're going to introduce everybody to the 5 steps of building a successful business. Why are we doing that? It's because people always assume this is something that it's not. And sometimes just having a theoretical conversation or speaking in themes isn't enough for people to really understand or believe what you're doing is a true viable business. They have to see the 5 steps. They have to understand what makes us different, such as no end of month with the volume every single month, whereas typically in any sales structure there is. We don't get paid to recruit. We don't build horizontally in width. We build 2 vertical teams of distribution, right? We get 100% commissionable credit on all the volume of every product used and sold within our organization. There are no percentages off of levels. So these are all things that people need to see visually when we go through that marketing plan, to really understand why this is different than maybe something that they think it is and it's not, right? So when you schedule your business launch event, the big thing to know here is that you are not inviting people because you think they'll be interested. Do not prejudge people. It is not your place to do that. And we're always wrong, by the way. The people that we think would be really great and be really interested typically aren't, and vice versa. Sometimes the people that we never think to ask are the people who get the most excited. So lead with the evaluation approach, which is essentially, going through your 2-minute commercial, why you've partnered with the company, or even maybe you're evaluating. Maybe this is something you're helping your new partners do. It's great to have people evaluate the plan as part of their kind of educational process in the beginning. But certainly just reaching out to people whose opinion you value, who have some kind of quality attribute, right? So maybe they're really well connected in your community. Maybe they're a really great husband or wife, or maybe they're a really great friend, or maybe they're really successful in their career. Maybe they are just like that really fun, loving, positive person. Don't ask, your neighbor who's just sitting on their porch gossiping all the time, right? We are looking for positive, qualified, successful people. So we're not judging, we're qualifying the quality of person, but we're not judging their interest level, right? So we're only going to invite people that are going to add value to our life in some way, shape, or form. And we're going to stroke their ego a little bit. And when we're inviting them to come and evaluate the business plan, we're going to specifically say, hey, I thought of you because I really respect and admire how you're so busy all the time, but somehow you make amazing things happen and you always are contributing back to the community. and you have a great family and your kids really look up to you, and I admire that a lot. And I know you're super busy, but I also know you're well connected, and I would so appreciate the favor if you could pop over, join me on this evening so that I can walk through the marketing plan for my new business so that you can understand what it is I'm doing, so that maybe when you come across people that you think would be great for me to know and connect with for a product or a service, or maybe a potential business partner, that you know a little bit about what I'm doing and you feel comfortable making that connection for me. And then listen, like do something nice for them if you can, reciprocate in some way, if possible, if they're able to come out and support you. And even just take it away and say, I know you're too busy. I know you don't have the time. I know you wouldn't be I know you wouldn't be interested. All I'm looking for is to get people's eyes on this. I really want people that I respect who are successful. I want them to come and look at it. And hey, give me some feedback and give me your, thoughts or opinions. That's always welcome too. So it sort of takes the pressure off of them when you say, I know you don't have time. I know you won't be interested, et cetera, et cetera. Because if they are, they're going to let you know, right? So lead with that evaluation approach. You should learn that when you're in a basic 5 training. So when you go through your getting started guide, that's one of the things that you're going to commit to, is going to your basic 5 training. And when we talk about prospecting, you should learn how to go through that evaluation approach. We don't have time to dig in too much tonight, but I gave you a little overview. So then the last thing I want to say is that, I think I mentioned it when I gave you an example of the conversation, but just ask for their support. Let them know that it would mean a lot to you, and follow up with them. Whether they can't come, then say, hey, you know what, actually, maybe it's better. I know sometimes in a group setting, things get really busy. And maybe it's just better if we meet one-on-one for coffee anyway. Can I buy you a coffee? Or, if they have something going on that you can help support, maybe they have a fundraiser or something that you can go to and help support, absolutely do that. But keep those people in your atmosphere, and who those people are people that you are learning how to create a names list with when you go through the Getting Started guide and the Welcome guide. The people that you're going to invite to evaluate the business are coming from that exercise. But definitely follow up again. If they're not able to come, follow up and just say, hey, maybe better to meet one-on-one anyway. And if they do come, then absolutely, of course, you want to follow up with them anyway. And you want to maybe incentivize them for a referral for either product or a business connection. I think the most important thing is that you just have fun and trust the process, and know that things are going to pop and things are going to happen when they're meant to. Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves that our friends and family and prospects feel that, right? They feel the pressure that we're putting ourselves under, and it's a little bit of a turnoff for them. So focus on your customer base so that you can make money right away. You can make a lot of money through retail profit in establishing that customer base. So that's my highest piece of advice to you, is to start there. And then as you're building your business, make sure that you're just having fun in that process, allowing people to lead to people. In a perfect world, when we are evaluating the business ourselves, we invite other people to evaluate with us. And by the time we partner, we already have 2 people who are going to commit to building the business with or without us. So sometimes when we partner, we are already at that step where we are, at step 4 or 5 in our business plan, right? We're activating our business by personally sponsoring 2 people, and then we can help with step 5 and helping those 2 people do the same thing, right? That's the ideal way. It doesn't always shake out that way, especially, for people like me, or maybe people that are spending time in our beauty world here. A lot of times we do lead with product, and we establish a customer base first. And then a lot of times our customers are going to be really open. That's a perfect person to ask to evaluate the business, because many times customers are interested in learning how they can purchase a product at a discount and make a little extra money referring the products that they are already loving to use. So hopefully that all makes sense. I'm trying to keep these sessions in bite-sized pieces for you. So, you can always email or follow up with me. if you have any additional questions. But thank you for joining me, and I will absolutely look forward to seeing you all next week. Alice is asking, are the PowerPoints in the back office? So we can put them on the back office. That's fine. Some of them are. I'm not sure if all of them are, but happy to do that. And then we have been recording these sessions and we have been sending them to our team to upload. It is a little bit of a process because everything has to be approved by our editorial team and our legal team, and then the multimedia team has to upload it on YouTube. But we do have a channel. If you go to the Motives Cosmetics official YouTube channel, we have a business building playlist on the official Motives Cosmetics YouTube channel. There's a few different playlists on there. One of them specifically is business building, which is where these Monday sessions are being uploaded. And Alice, that business plan will be uploaded on there. There already is one of me showing the business plan. The one I did last week was I tried very hard to be very quick and efficient in showing that business plan. So that one is significantly shorter. So I'm going to put both up there so that there are two options. And Tammy, I'm glad that you're enjoying the sessions. We really tried to plan some good topics and really help everybody, get going and share. And Elaine, I always appreciate your support and it's always good to see you on. So thank you. And have a great night, everyone. And I know there's a great session coming on at 9 p.m. with Steve Ashley and Jason Pellin. So you'll have some time to take a little break and hop on that if you'd like. So have a great night. Thanks again for joining.